Aliens unleashed. Their apex predator, the human, brought a leash. The Zephyrian council chamber fell silent as Admiral Kexith activated the containment field display. Within the shimmering blue barrier, a creature writhed with predatory grace. 8 feet of pure muscle, razor-sharp claws, and bioluminescent stripes that pulsed with lethal intent. The Shadowmaw, the apex predator of Xerion Prime, had been their secret weapon for 3 centuries. "Behold," Kexith announced to the assembled delegates, his voice carrying the weight of impending victory, "the end of human expansion into our territory." The creature's 6 eyes tracked movement beyond the barrier with cold intelligence. Its mandibles clicked rhythmically, a sound that had been the last thing countless prey species ever heard. The Shadowmaw was death incarnate, evolution's perfect killing machine. Captain Elena Vasquez of the UES Defiance watched the display with professional interest, her arms crossed casually behind her back. The other species representatives, the insectoid hivetar, the crystalline resonance, the aquatic depth swimmers, all recoiled from the holographic projection. Elena simply tilted her head, studying the creature like she might examine an interesting rock formation. "Impressive," she said finally. "What does it eat?" Kexith's 4 arms spread wide in a gesture of supreme confidence. "Everything human. The Shadowmaw recognizes no prey it cannot hunt, no creature it cannot kill. It has cleared entire worlds of life in mere solar cycles." Elena reached into her jacket pocket, causing several guards to tense. She withdrew something small and metallic, holding it up to the light. "And you're planning to unleash this on human colonies?" "Your expansion ends here," Kexith declared. "The Galactic Council has voted. Humanity's aggressive territorial claims threaten the stability of this sector. The Shadowmaw will teach your species the meaning of fear." Elena nodded slowly, still examining the object in her hand. "You know, we had something similar back on Earth, called it different names: wolf, bear, lion. All apex predators in their own right." She looked up at Kexith with a slight smile. "Would you like to know what we did with them?" The Zephyrian, Admiral's gill slits fluttered with amusement. "Fled to the stars, presumably, when you could no longer hide from them." "Actually," Elena said, walking closer to the containment field, "we made them into pets." The chamber erupted in what passed for laughter among the various alien species, chittering from the hivetar, harmonic resonances from the crystalline beings, and clicking from the aquatic delegates. Kexith's bioluminescent patches flashed, in patterns of derision. "You jest, human. The Shadowmaw cannot be tamed. We have tried for millennia. It recognizes only hunger and the hunt." Elena approached the containment field until she was mere inches from the barrier. The Shadowmaw fixated on her with all 6 eyes, its body coiling like a spring, its claws extended, scraping against the energy barrier with sparks of contained fury. "Every apex predator has the same weakness," Elena said conversationally. "They're specialists, perfectly adapted to their environment, their prey, their hunting methods. But when the environment changes," she held up the object again, a simple metal whistle. "Well, adaptability trumps specialization every time." Without warning, Elena deactivated her translation device and began making a series of sounds. Low growls, clicking noises, and something that resembled a purr. The Shadowmaw's aggressive posture faltered, its head tilted in confusion. The assembled aliens watched in growing unease as Elena continued her strange vocalizations. She incorporated hand gestures, slow movements, and what appeared to be some form of primitive dance. The Shadowmaw's bioluminescent stripes began pulsing in response, its entire demeanor shifting from predatory to curious. "Impossible," Kexith whispered. Elena switched tactics, producing a small food synthesizer from her pack. The smell of protein rations filled the air. The Shadowmaw's nostrils flared, and it approached the barrier with hesitant steps. Elena made soft clicking sounds, the same rhythm the creature had been making earlier, but gentler. "You see," Elena explained to the stunned assembly, "humans didn't survive by being the strongest or fastest. We survived by being the most adaptable social species on our planet. We didn't just live alongside other predators. We recruited them, She gestured to the shadow maw, which was now pressing against the barrier, its aggressive posturing completely gone. Everything responds to the right social cues, the right incentives, the right approach. Kexth's voice cracked with disbelief. It took us 300 years to learn how to contain one safely. You've been here for 10 minutes. Pattern recognition, Elena shrugged. Plus about 50,000 years of practice. My grandmother kept wolves, my neighbor had bears, and my daughter's got a pet lion back on New Terra. Same principles apply. She activated the food synthesizer again, and the shadow maw made what could only be described as a pleased rumbling sound. The chamber fell completely silent except for the gentle purring of the galaxy's most feared predator. Elena turned to face the council, the metal object now clearly visible as a simple dog whistle. Now about those territorial disputes. I think we can reach an accommodation that works for everyone. But first, she gestured to the containment field. Would you mind if I took this little guy for a walk? He looks like he needs some exercise. Admiral Kexth stared at the scene. Before him, the apex predator of Zarian Prime sitting like a trained pet, waiting for treats from a human who'd never seen its species before today. In that moment, he understood why humanity's expansion had been so relentless, so inevitable. They didn't conquer worlds by force. They simply made everything else want to follow them home. The containment field, he said weakly, will remain active. Elena smiled and produced what appeared to be a simple rope from her pack. Don't worry, Admiral. I brought a leash.